Okay, today I'm going to tell you about 3 hobbies I have in the order I obtained them. Hunting, fishing, and playing guitar have gotten me through some rough times in life and have brought great joy to the good times. I have 3 objects that represent each hobby. The first object is this fishing lure, which I've caught the biggest smallmouth bass I've ever caught in my life on. Second object is this picture of my first buck, which represents hunting. My third object is my guitar, which I've been playing for about 3 years, and this is my baby. Okay, so the first hobby I'll be speaking about is fishing. My first memory of fishing was when I was about 5 years old, and me and my dad and my brothers and sisters, we went out to a family friend of ours, Rick's. He had a vineyard, and he had a pond on that vineyard, and we fished it. And don't know how many fish we caught. I know we caught a lot, and I remember catching 2 fish on 1 hook. It wasn't me that caught it, I believe it was my dad. But we had a good time there, and I also had good times fishing on Current River, specifically KJAX fishing tournament. I fished this tournament with my brother 3 different times, I believe. Best we ever did was 3rd place, which wasn't bad, but it's more about the fun you have and the people you're with and just the time you're spending, and it just doesn't get any better than that. Okay, so this brings me to my next hobby, which is hunting. My first memory hunting was at Rick's Vineyard as well. My dad and me were out there, and we weren't planning on hunting, but Rick said, "Here's a gun, sit on our back porch, and you'll kill a deer." I didn't believe Rick because we're sitting on the back porch, you don't usually see deer, but with grapes around, I guess you do. So we're out here hunting, and we see a deer. We saw a few before my dad actually got a shot off, and he shot a doe. And after that doe dropped, and fawn stood there with it. Well, right after that, probably 2 minutes later, my grandpa comes back from his hunt. So he wants to shoot this deer, so he comes up and tries to shoot it. Well, he walked pretty much off the deck, which was under construction, and he fell, but he got his balance back up, and he stood there, he shot the other deer. And this all took place about 3 hours after he blew a hole through Rick's roof with a gun he didn't know how to operate. And that's my grandpa right there, that fine young gentleman. Okay, my second memory, well, not my second memory, but another memory that's probably most memorable is a hunt out at my cabin where I shot the biggest buck I've killed to this day. It was a nice 8-point, but the thing that was so special about this is I got lost in the woods for 3 hours at dark after I shot it. Luckily, my dad was able to find me before they had to call a rescue team in, and that's definitely memory I'll never forget, and something I always remember so I don't do that again. This brings me to my third hobby, which is playing guitar. Playing guitar has been playing for 3 years, and it's got me through some really hard times. There's a place I go out on Cane Creek when just things aren't so good. I go out there and it's just peaceful. Sit out there and play, just listen to the different sounds that nature's making. And sometimes I'll learn new songs, sometimes I'll make up my own songs. But guitar can be frustrating at times, but once you learn it, it's something that you'll never forget. You keep going at it, and it's something you'll learn to love. All this being said, I hope you learned something about me and awesome hobbies I have that have formed an awesome person. That started with fishing when I was 5 years old, hunting, I started when I was 8, and playing guitar when I started at 18. Thank you.